The subscribe button used to actually do something.
Now?
That doesn't do jack shit. I feel like I'm way more of a YouTuber and way less of a musician than I used to be, and I don't like that. And like, I didn't get into YouTube to be a YouTuber. The whole purpose of it was to build an audience for launching my music. Grew into something bigger than I was expecting. The thing that really turned the corner for me was, one, dedicating myself to publishing a video every week, no matter what.
Consistency.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid to put this out here because I know it's not as good as I want it to be. You got to get in your reps and see the shitty things that you did and do it better next time. You'll become way faster at the production process at every level.
There it is.
I'll just do a reaction video. This new Metallica song came out.
That was it.
That was like, I can make something really fast. Mom, Dad, this video has 10,000 ad revenue bringing in. If it's enough to where like you could quit your job today, don't. Definitely don't.
What does painful mean?
You putting months, or in one case, years, into developing something. You throw it out there, and then no one knows it's there.
Let's be honest, you have to work for the algorithm to some extent.
Absolutely.
So if the algorithm forces creators into a box, what's the escape route?
This episode may contain explicit language not suitable for all audiences.
Back with another episode of The Creator Show. I'm your host, Stephen Bacanda, with my other host.
And I'm John Bertino, and today we are pleased to be joined with Mike Kupris. Pronounced Capri?
Caprice.
Caprice. Mike Caprice from Become the Night, a YouTube channel that I love. It's a channel dedicated to music, metal, assessment, reactions, rants, things of that nature.
A lot of rants.
Yeah.
Rants are good.
We came to know you originally, Mike, through a shared friend in Finn McKenty, who's an awesome guy, a fellow YouTuber, a former YouTuber who also does, or did music-related commentary. There was a great interview I did with him a year or two ago out in Seattle that our viewers should check out. If you're interested, he dropped some serious knowledge around YouTube and social media, and we're hoping you could do the same for us today, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you came up from Nashville, which we love. You're a sound engineer by trade?
That's complicated. That's one of the many skill sets that I have.
Yeah.
I would say most of my friends who are sound engineers and like actual music producers are substantially better than I am, though I am definitely better than your average amateur. We'll just put it that way.
Awesome. I've done a little work with you, and your knowledge to me is incredibly impressive.
Thank you.
And the degree to we worked through some difficult challenges we were having with some audio, like, you really impressed me. So as far as I'm concerned, you're incredible at this stuff. Do you spend most of your time engineering audio or something else?
Oh gosh. These days I spend a lot of time doing YouTube content, whether that's consulting for other people or working on my own stuff for my channel. Yeah. I still do audio and music related things every so often, but it's taken a bit of a back burner. We can get into that a little later in the interview, but my life took a turn not too long ago that kind of had to make me shift some priorities around.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start a little bit from the beginning. According to AI, you were an HVAC guy. Is that accurate?
No. Not at all.
Really?
That's incredible. According to AI, I did HVAC repair.
Yeah, that's right.
It came up in a couple different HI queries.
Which bot? Which bot? I'm curious.
Claude.
Claude. I don't trust Claude as far as I can throw it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not the first time, of course, AI has steered us in the wrong direction, but usually
it's becoming the running joke.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
In fact, I think we're going to just keep doing it.
I think it actually has to be a thing now.
Yeah.
We did it with Marcus.
Yeah, or it was Mick from the Samboners.
That's right.
Remember?
That's right.
He said he owned
I love it as a bit. It's great.
Yeah. So let's go back to where were you in your life when you decided to start a YouTube channel, which, by the way, our viewers should know, just under 200,000 subscribers, which, as far as I'm concerned, on YouTube is a pretty impressive feat. You get a lot of engagement on your content, and you're well regarded in the space as one of the top music or metal YouTubers. So how did it all start?
Without going too far back, I knew basically since I was 15 that like I saw the Metallica S&M concert on DVD, and I was like, I want to do that when I grow up. Like, that is it. So from then on, I was like really pursuing music very, very strongly in my own personal time. Like, I didn't have any formal education, wasn't in band, did none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do it myself. And through that experience, I went to college for it and got suspended from college for a little bit for being a massive pothead, basically.
Massive.
I was a massive pothead. It was a problem. But then, graduated a
What
little
does
late.
massive mean? I have to ask.
I had no money to speak of because it was mostly going to pot, literally.
I mean, didn't you just sell it like the rest of us?
I tried for a little bit. I did. Okay, like the first time I got caught.
Okay, there we go.
It was in our dorm room, and it was like a suite style living.
Yeah.
23 homemade pieces.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Like beakers and stuff from science class, that type of stuff.
Beakers.
Like in
Apples.
high school, like we have like a rent. Like you guys have probably been to a similar rent fair out near Lancaster, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
They used to have these beer yards, but instead of having beer in them, they would have like frozen drinks or whatever. And in high school, I was like, I'm gonna make a bong out of this eventually. So I had one of those as a homemade 3-foot bong, and like my friend was in the physics department, so he got some little like what do you call them? Little test tube thingies.
Yeah.
It was
See,
great.
I knew it.
was
I knew the
beautiful.
beakers were making a
They
piece.
almost make better.
So
That's incredible. Nice.
but
All right.
yeah.
Well, we'll have to save some more of the bong talk for the bonus.
Okay,
if you're into it. All right. So
Okay, yeah. So graduated college at the turn of the year there, and then in 2014 moved to Nashville, and I was engaged, and then that broke right when I moved to Nashville. So I was like crushed, alone, with next to no money, no job, no car, in a city that I'd never been to before in my entire life. Just
What
be
an
like, guess
opportunity.
yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anything wants to make you stop, that would be the thing. But I kept pushing. But the thing that turned me on to YouTube is through all of that loneliness, I turned to YouTube certain content that's not as popular these days called Let's Plays. I'm a little bit of a gamer, and that actually gave me some like company and felt like there was like some friends around while I was there, basically trying to discover the city and discover my new friend group.
and what is a Let's Play for the people that don't know, like me?
It's just as simple as one guy or two guys sit down and record their audio and play a video game in real time.
And you were posting that stuff to YouTube?
I didn't post it. I was watching other people do it.
Oh, gotcha.
But then I was like, these guys are doing the simplest, dumbest thing ever. I bet I could start a music YouTube channel and like garner an audience this way. I bet you that's a thing that could happen. And like I saw other people were doing it. I'm like, okay. So then I started doing more research as to like what makes YouTube channels successful and everything. I guess to boil it down, the whole purpose of it was to build an audience for launching my music, and it grew into something bigger than I was expecting. wasn't budgeting for all this direction, but yeah.
When you started, what was the first kind of content that you were making?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cringy. Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start.
The first one was the Mike the Music Snob series, which is basically just like a commentary thing, and then the other one was Random Jams, which was just me doing random music bits that I wanted to make, and I kind of wanted to alternate between those two. It wasn't good. It wasn't very good.
But Mike the Music Snob started to become an alter ego at some point.
Yeah. Like originally that was supposed to be like the character that I was going to be, and then it just kind of became like my online nickname. The thing that really turned the corner for me was one, dedicating myself to publishing a video every week, no matter what. That was a huge thing. That's the advice I give to like everyone.
Still to this day.
Absolutely.
Consistency.
Yeah.
10 to 20 minutes, Mike? How long? 10 to 20 minutes?
Oh, the length of the video?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care at all. I mean, as long as it's not a short. I mean, like a proper long form content. Like if you're gonna do something, we can talk about like optimal lengths later.
Sure.
But like just get something out there.
How about you at that time? Were you doing 10, 20 minutes or just anything you could, whatever you wanted?
And anything, yeah.
Okay.
I knew the optimal length was like more than 8 minutes, but I didn't worry too much about it. I just basically wanted to say my piece and get out of there. But yeah, like dedicating yourself to 1 minute a week does a whole bunch, or sorry, not 1 minute. Wow. One video a week will do multiple different things for you as far as pressure. One, you have to decide that something is done. Two, you learn how to start planning your content better in order to be realistic with the amount of time that you have. And three, when you start doing that, you get into the habit of holding yourself accountable, because all of this like, oh, it's not good enough, it's not that. Secretly in your back door, there's another motivation of, I'm actually afraid to put this out here because I know it's not as good as I want it to be. And you have to get the hell over that. you got to get over that. You got to get in your reps and see the shitty things that you did and do it better next time. And like with reps, you'll become way faster at the production process at every level. I mean, the reason why I can do all that editing as fast as I do is because I've been through it way too many times.
Okay, so
I mean, there it is.
Right there,
I mean,
that was excellent because your background, or at least to a degree, is in production these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I, again, having worked with you, I know that you have a pretty high standard. And yet you, even with someone with that background, is saying, just get it out there.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, hands down. I mean, obviously you want to meet or exceed your standard every time if you can, but when you're first getting started, reps are way more important, because even if you make like the most perfect video, odds are no one's going to watch it anyway. like being completely
They're definitely
honest.
not watching it.
And sometimes too polished, it rubs people the wrong way.
It can. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Especially like if it loses its soul, it definitely can. Like, okay, there's a friend of mine in the Catholic content space who is now kind of off, I quote unquote on his own, but he's working with a company. It's a Catholic AI app called Truthfully. It's a really good company, but he's kind of like their content guy, and he has not been a content creator in any really crazy way until now. So, but like he has all of this experience of making music videos for a long time and like working as an editor for multiple other YouTubers. So like, now he is putting in those like swinging for the fences videos every time. It's a little bit different of a situation because he has an extensive background. He has a mastery of aesthetics, you know?
Yeah.
So like for him, maybe you'd give different advice. But anyway.
Okay. So you just started doing it. You started committing to one post a week. And
Because I was running out of time, I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. I know it's easy. I'll just do a reaction video. This new Metallica song came out, and they're birthed.
that was it. Huh?
Yeah. That wasn't calculated whatsoever. That was like, I need to fucking make something really fast.
What song, what album, and how'd it go?
It was, oh gosh, okay. All the cringe is returning to my body as I have to think about this. Fine Brothers was like a huge channel back in the day. These days it's like kind of a dying channel, but they have several like series of like kids react, adults react, teens react, things like that. So this was kids react to Metallica, and it was a new Metallica song dropping. It was the first single off of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. And I don't even think I agree with half the things I said in that video now, but
So you were reacting to the kids reacting.
yes. Oh yeah.
Funny.
That's a whole meta. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, that was the first thing to where it's like, oh, like I'm actually starting to get some like interest in my channel. That's really cool.
How did you know? Was it like people commenting on it? Were they agreeing? Were they disagreeing?
See the view count go way up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one that really took off for me.
We talking a couple thousand views, tens of thousands, and what?
It started as like a couple thousand views, and then like after like 2 weeks, it was like I called my mom, Dad, this video has 10,000 views. Wow. Shit, like I was like freaking out, you know. And I mean, now it's still my most viewed channel. I think it has over 700.
Video?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my most viewed video. Sorry.
Really? To this day?
Oh yeah. I think it's like 700 and something thousand views. I don't remember offhand.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Check it.
Cardi B is awful. It would have been number one.
That was one also to where it's like that wasn't calculated. I was just like, I think everyone can agree she's awful. We need to like set this straight. And like that went out from like the metal space out in the normie space.
You didn't like WAP?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. So good, dude.
You don't know that one, Steve?
I don't.
We'll talk after this thing.
So it's an acronym.
Yeah. So the Metallica meta review of kids reviewing Metallica took off.
Yep.
Or did really well for you, outperformed.
Yeah.
And so then what?
I mean, you keep leaning into that meta because that's the thing that's giving you that positive feedback from the audience of like, yeah, we're going to show up and watch this for you. And then
Well, so you did more of that, reactions of reactions?
Well, not just reactions of reaction, but music reactions.
Just music reactions, yeah.
I went off into like, because I didn't want to be just pigeonholed as like only doing metal content to start out. I wanted to be the music snob. It's more sophisticated than simply metal. I just happen to be a metalhead, which is why I'm better than you. But yeah, that type of thing. But yeah, so like I actually started going off and doing some like pop reaction videos.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Like, you know, metalhead dunking on pop music, definitely not cringe whatsoever.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
And they did well?
They did okay. Not as good as the Fine Brothers one, but they did better than any of my previous videos.
Okay, now did you go full time or were you working simultaneously?
During that time, I was working simultaneously. I think it was a year or year and a half after that Fine Brothers video that I finally took the leap and went full time.
No kidding.
And that's when you quit the HVAC job.
Yeah. I crawled out of the vents.
How many years had gone by from start to that point?
Oh, I think 3.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, about 3. Because I think it was 2018 is when I left, and I started in 2015 with my first videos. God bless me.
Yeah, and you were monetized by 2018, and
oh yeah. I got monetized well before then. That was way easier to clear back then than it is today, and even still, I mean, it's not too bad.
And to be honest, and I'm sure our listeners are curious too, it's always a little touchy. You don't want to ask people outright like, how much were you making? But I get the impression that the platforms would pay more money then than they do now. Certainly TikTok, I know that's true.
That's hard to say. I haven't followed it super closely.
Right. Was it a full-time wage?
Technically, yes. But that was also because I had to pull from multiple different revenue sources. So like altogether between ad revenue, sponsorships, and crowdfunding, which would be like things like either Patreon or Super Chats. Excuse me. That made it almost livable. Like pretty darn close. And Nashville, almost livable. If I lived in like where I grew up, that'd be more than livable. But yeah. So, I mean... yeah, I can talk about this. Going back through my tax returns the last few years, it looks like there were some years revenue-wise, I was like maybe 45, 50K. And then I think there was one year I got as high as 60. But I mean, that's not anything to write home about. And I was like constantly holding on of like that next big thing that's going to like shoot me up, you know, but that never came along.
I appreciate your candor. And that's, you know, one of the really interesting things that I gleaned from preliminary research that wasn't AI was, you know, underneath your videos, there's a lot of different affiliate links and stuff. And even right there, you mentioned all kinds of different paths to revenue. So maybe you could walk through some of those things that work well, continue to work well, things that you're no longer doing, because it looks like you've got a lot of different avenues, and that's unique compared to some of the people we meet. We meet some folks with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they have no idea how to monetize at all.
Right.
Gosh. Okay. So I'll start here. Just because you're making content does not mean you need to make money at it. Let's start there. If you do want to make money at it, then we need to talk about, are we prioritizing it as a business or are we prioritizing it as content?
Yeah.
Because that's going to steer what direction you will ethically want to take. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And above all else, be honest with your audience. Like some people are just like anti people making content for money ever. Those people can screw themselves. They're not realistic. They're not serious people.
Right.
They really are out there.
Oh,
I've heard other creators talk about this. Amanda Yao mentioned this. She did a gag video of people telling her like, "How dare you do a promotional post?"
Yeah.
Those are people who
sell out.
Those are people who either don't make content or don't have jobs,
or they're extremely jealous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost always part of it too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like starting there, then as far as what your revenue strategy is going to be, I would say start with a focus on one, and then start branching out from there as that one seems
like that one offer, that one channel, that one thing.
Like ad revenue or Patreon or like an offering that you can do, something like that. Start there as like your main focus, and then start looking at boosting the other ones that aren't tapped yet. And what you would decide to do is going to depend so much both on your content niche and on your type of audience.
Yeah.
So like technically me and Colt Caparoon are in the same niche,
who's Colt Caparoon?
Colt Caparoon is, I think he has over 100,000 subscribers now, but he's a mixing engineer in Nashville. We're acquaintances through some friends, and he's a badass dude, amazing mix engineer. He does a whole bunch of stuff across genres, but a lot of it's, I remember, country, some metal, some rock, some stuff like that.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, Colt's amazing. Technically, you could say we're in the same niche because we're both like music production stuff, but I'm more in the, right now, normie music appreciation space. He's more in the I want to be a professional space. So for him, affiliate links do fantastically.
Because he's attracting other engineers and sound engineers who are trying to learn from him, and like at least half the authority.
At least half of his content is look how sick this thing sounds, you know? You probably really want one, don't you? So, there's a link. But yeah, so when I do videos like that, those affiliate links might not work as well. And just having things down in my description might.
And is that like an Amazon affiliate? If it's a product, or is it like a direct affiliate?
It can be Amazon. A lot of guys in my space do Sweetwater.
Yeah, sure. They have a good affiliate program?
Oh, fantastic.
Do they?
So good. Yeah.
We should look at them.
Yeah.
I mean, we buy so much of our equipment through Guitar Center or through Amazon or Sweetwater.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Freaking, yeah, like they're we don't need to go into the specifics of Sweetwater, but yeah, I highly recommend them as far as on the content creator side. But yeah, so one of the big places I would say to begin as far as getting a gauge is seeing how much ad revenue you're bringing in. If it's enough to where like you could quit your job today, don't. Definitely don't.
Why? Why not?
Oh, like getting month to month. That's the scariest thing ever. And not only that, you never know if you're actually going to consistently get that. YouTube algorithm ebbs and flows.
Yep.
Man, so someone gets pissed off the wrong way and there's another adpocalypse. I've been through like 6 adpocalypses now, and it's you're just like, yep, another fucking thing.
It's the algorithm change? Is that the adpocalypse when the algorithm changes?
No. Adpocalypse is when some piece of shit from mainstream media writes an article about how PewDiePie is secretly turning people into Nazis, and then like, or like one of the times was like, there's this Coca-Cola ad showing in front of an ISIS video. I'm just like, they show in front of every video. Like Coca-Cola is not
supporting ISIS.
It's not supporting this. And not only that, YouTube made it so that nothing from that channel is sending revenue their way. That money just goes right to YouTube. And you could still say like it's not completely ethical. Sure. I'm totally with you there.
Why would that situation affect you or the typical creator? Why is that?
Because then it makes Coca-Cola go, we don't want to spend our ad money here.
They pull the dollars.
So they pull the dollars out, which means there's less ads running.
I see.
You know?
Which means drives everyone else's costs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as the algorithm change goes, that's just like your own view velocity. So like if you're not getting as many views, you're not getting as many ads, and you're just going to make less money. And not only that, you have next to no control over what ads play before your videos, you know? So, I mean, you can predict certain types of that stuff for certain niches. Like if you're doing like real estate business advice, apparently it's like one of the highest ad niches out. Like it's an insane CPM. It's
really
crazy. Oh yeah, it's wild. But not CPM, rather RPM. But yeah, like crap, where was I going?
So what about brand? What about other social platforms? Where are you most active outside of YouTube?
Just YouTube.
Just YouTube. You're not really looking at Instagram or TikTok or anything?
No, I tried for a little bit, and it was cute and it was fun, but it was
your audience just not there?
Partly that, and also just like I'm a really mouthy, long talky kind of a guy.
Yeah.
That's not great for short form, and also this physique is relatively new, so I wasn't particularly Instagram ready. So yeah, just forget. And I don't know. I can't debase myself enough to make content for boomers on Facebook, so it kind of leaves me with YouTube.
Interesting. I actually want to go back. When I asked about monetization, you had said your first piece of advice would be to try to focus on one. I actually find that surprising. Why not just try to take it wherever you can get it and diversify as much as possible?
If you trust yourself enough to multitask that way, that's fine. But considering I'd say most people are fairly new, I'd say remove all the variables, pick one that seems to work the best, maximize it as much as you can in that first like 1 month, few months. And then once that seems to plateau a bit, then be like, okay, this one hasn't been tapped yet. Let's kind of bring this one up a little bit, you know, making your one offering as good as it can be before you start throwing in other offerings. So let's say it was a Patreon. You don't have to have extra content on Patreon, but most people kind of expect something like that. So if you can make your Patreon as attractive as possible and you really put together a good machine to plug your Patreon and to get people in and keep them in the system for your Patreon, that's going to do way more than kind of like doing a half-ass one here and then making like, oh, like buy my masterclass on how to jerk yourself off online. You know, like that's what half of them are. But yeah, like, you know, or flip side, say you start with your offering, building a product that's actually going to serve a need, and then figuring out the machine and funnel that's going to get people to actually purchase that product. Focusing in on that and not worrying so much about Patreon is going to be way more effective, in my humble opinion. As a matter of fact, most of the guys who do that, who are like really dead set on selling a product, don't even worry about the other stuff. Of course, sometimes they actually hybrid them together to where their Patreon is access to their product they're selling. So like they're like this is where talking about monetization is really hard to give broad advice, because it's as creative and as multi-modular as you really want it to be.
Every creator needs a brand strategy. Totally. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. That's telling you what your funnel is, who your audience is, like, as you hone in on that.
It sounds like you've done a fair amount with Patreon.
I did back in the day. I switched over to Subscribestar because there was a whole thing.
Same idea. I don't know Subscribestar.
Almost exact. It's the same, but worse in Russian.
Oh, gotcha.
Tell us more. How come?
They pay better, I guess.
No. So
go on.
There was a what do you call it? Scandal, drama, whatever, where there was a number of creators removed from Patreon, I believe in 2018 or 2019. Sargon of Akkad, who is a controversial figure, he got deplatformed from Patreon for things that a specific word that he said a few times on a live stream off of Patreon. It wasn't even on Patreon. And without going into all the details, this was a massively hypocritical thing on Patreon's part, because there was other users and other people who make content on there using that same word on their platform who weren't removed.
What was the word?
I'm not saying it.
Yeah, we'll have to Google that one.
Yeah, you can Google it.
Plus, I want this video to show without limitations.
But a whole bunch of people pulled out from. There was like a big migration off of Patreon from like the free speech wing, and this was like in my big libertarian days. So I was one of those people that pulled out of conscience and went to Subscribestar, and that was like a huge pay cut for me, because I was relying on Patreon to fill in the gaps where ad revenue might not always do that. And in this war, basically it was a war for a stranglehold of information. And they then, after he pulled off and went to Subscribestar, they took PayPal away from Subscribestar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that, huh?
It was like that.
Yeah, I'm tracking. Okay, well, putting the, I don't know, political dynamics aside or what have you, how does one have success with a platform like Patreon or Subscribestar? You know, you've got a long form YouTube channel. It's working well.
First big thing, tell them about it.
Tell your audience.
Yeah, you'd be shocked how many people don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you want to know how I learned how to pitch a Patreon really well?
Please.
By all of the manifests that I get from these really awesome sponsors who are always so incredible to me and definitely don't have the weirdest checklists of all time, and swear on a stack of Bibles that you only need to do 60 seconds with 3 minutes worth of talking points.
Right.
But looking at what they demand and how they demand that it be structured, from there, it's like, okay, this is how YouTube marketing professionals see the best click-through rate on links and descriptions and on pinned comments. Okay, apply that to selling yourself. And one of the things is, again, tell them about it in every video within the first 90 seconds. Like if you have to negotiate for a completely different ad rate if you are going to say not in the first 90 seconds. Sometimes they'll just tell you no if you won't do in the first 90 seconds because there is that much of a viewer retention drop off.
Right.
So like even if you're like, oh, I don't want to bug them with it. Oh, my viewers don't like this or like that. Dude, there may be someone who's a viewer of yours who wants to give you money, who clicks on your video, is really excited to see it, and then like something happens, and then they click off, and they forget that they clicked off.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like you might actually be doing somebody a favor.
Yeah.
Like they may actually be grateful that you're doing this bombarding of Patreon. It will get mildly annoying, but you know how you make it less mildly annoying? Turn it into content. So either a really fun segue and make it like jokey and dad jokey and lame, or there's some guys who like internet comment etiquette is his name, and when he does ads, he does like a whole like super well designed skit that like people will actually watch the whole ad because it's entertaining.
Interesting. I'd love to take a look at that. What's his name?
Internet comment etiquette.
Huh. Thanks for the tip. I'll have to take a look. I mean, so if I'm hearing you correctly, we kind of shifted from Patreon to brand deals, or either.
Yeah,
or?
we're bridging.
This is still very much having to do with Patreon. Okay. All of the stuff that I took from doing brand deals.
Yeah.
Apply it to Patreon. You know, apply it to how you sell your Patreon.
I see.
Like if you want success in the platform, first things first, people need to know it exists, and people need to have a reason to go give you money.
Sure.
You know, so then from there. It's as far as giving them things that they like or some kind of perceived value. And I'll be completely honest, frankly, that's less important than them just knowing about it. It really is. You can increase demand by doing, like in the guitar space, lesson videos or interpersonal interactions or having like suggestions towards future content and things like that. But in different niches, that's going to look different for different people.
Yeah.
What was it going to
So
go ahead.
No, I was going to bring up brand deals because we were kind of bridging that already. And I noticed in one of the videos that we had watched, the cigars.
That was kind of more of a favor than anything else, but
how many are you actively, working on multiple brand deals at the same time, or is it just
no?
one?
I got an agent.
You have an agent.
Tony, our buddy Tony out in Seattle.
we
Oh, you know
go.
Tony. Okay,
There
yeah.
we go.
Tony's great.
Tony's
amazing.
awesome. Shout out Tony from Pretty Good Agents. I love that name, by the way.
Yeah, right.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But Tony's fantastic. Basically, he gets people who want to advertise. He has a portfolio. They look at it, and if they say this guy, I get an email. You know? That's basically the extent of it. You can be way more proactive. There's guys who run their own deals, and I did that a little bit prior to being connected with Tony. But I think, in my humble opinion, having an agent is way easier. And I saw way more money running it with an agent than I did doing it by myself. That's my own recommendation. As long as you have a good agent.
You made reference earlier about the brand that wants 3 minutes worth of talking points into a 60-second video.
Well, they claim like, just like a 60-second to 90-second integration. I'm like, it's never that short ever. It's bare minimum going to be 2 minutes every
Because they're
time.
giving you the script.
They give. It depends. Different guys have different ways of doing it. Sometimes it's just like a whole manifest PDF of like 5 pages of shit, and then somewhere on there it's like you absolutely need these things that need to be mentioned, you know. But other people, they will give you like a hard script of like, but do this in your own words.
Right.
Yeah.
We've totally run into that. We've dabbled a fair amount ourselves through different platforms that we've been able to farm these things off of. And it's exactly what you said. It's like 60-second bit, and then it's like 5 pages of instructions.
Yeah.
And then also it totally removes any ability to improv or be natural and organic with your audience when you've all these talking points. It just gets so contrived and artificial. And it kind of made us pull back and go, we need to take a step away from this before we come back to it, because
That's fair.
it's too much bullshit. I know, by the way, they're not paying great. Now, with someone with your following, I'm sure you're getting better offers. But I feel like,
that and also Tony takes care of me.
Yeah, Tony
likes me for whatever reason. I don't know why, but he does take care of me.
Shout out Pretty Good Agents.
Yeah.
But brands, you talk
Shame
about
on the brands.
Shame on the brands.
on them for not providing a better fucking brief to these creators.
For the amount of money, I'll get over it. I'll get over it really fast, honestly.
Well,
it's mildly annoying, but it's not the end of the world.
I don't know what they're paying you, right? But when you're trying to do it yourself,
That one I can't disclose.
Right. When you're trying to do it yourself, they're always lowballing the hell out of you.
Yes.
And they act like, if it's not you, I'll just go to the next guy.
Yes.
No.
And to be fair,
kind of true.
A lot of times they will.
Right.
Which is also what's great about having an agent, because
It's an advocate.
For whatever, it's not just an advocate. For whatever reason, agents are able to be like, it's going to be this.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be this.
Right.
Minimum.
Line in the sand, too.
Yeah.
All right. Great. So where would you say you really hit your stride in this process, to the point where you're getting inbound leads, you're hiring an agent? Roughly what year is it? Roughly how many subs in?
Oh, it was either late 2018 or early 2019. It was actually through another connection. I had the guy, one of the guys who used to work for Hosa, Dylan. Dylan was so good. I love you, Dylan. I miss you, Dylan. He reached out to me randomly and was like, hey, we're a cable company. Let us just like send you a care package, and like if you want to be sponsored by us, we might be able to hook you up with some stuff. Like,
Interesting.
That'd be sick. Yeah, fucking yeah. And then we began a really wonderful relationship, and he was like, do you need help like getting sponsorships? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. I was like, let me connect you with Tony. So then that was that, like just like made content for long enough that eventually people reach out because they like what you do,
Yeah.
And like Dylan, I think, thought some of my videos were funny and was just like, I kind of like the cut of this guy's jib. I want to help him out, stuff like that still happens to this day, where you put out a video and one of my videos, like nobody watched. It was like a 5,000 view video, and randomly get a message from this really huge music producer and writer guy who, if I dropped the name of the thing that he wrote, you would instantly know what it is, and just like, is this guy real? Like this can't be a real guy. And I'm like, oh no, that's him. Like,
right.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, that I would say is what path I took.
Mm-hmm.
People can be way more proactive. There's ways to do that. I'm not the world's greatest businessman. So
all right. So that's a really good segue, because
Cool.
It sounds like that video was you kind of just doing what you wanted, being real authentic in the content you're creating. You said it didn't get great views in comparison to your other stuff, but you got a shout out from someone deep in the space.
Oh no, not even just a shout out. Like, he straight up reached out to me and like wanted to work with me on things, and we still have like a great relationship to this day.
How cool.
Like a music project, a YouTube project,
An education offering. We'll just put it that way.
music education.
We can talk. We can talk more about that off the
Cool.
record.
Well, so that reminds me of the video that was really the catalyst for today's discussion in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The video is called The Death of Metal YouTube and Autopsy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already a fan of your stuff. I'm into metal. I'd already worked with you in some capacity. But when I saw this, I was like, I got to reach back out to Mike. I could resonate with it so well. because of some of the struggles that we're dealing with our channel, some of the things we're hearing from other creators. There was a couple different layers to this video. I'll paraphrase. Tell me if this is a pretty good job.
Sure.
So the video talks about how YouTube creators, especially those in the metal niche, run into this problem where they find themselves becoming dopamine merchants of sorts, kind of almost dumbing down the content to be just fun, positive, and exciting, rather than being, the word you use, I believe it was edifying. You know, something with more meaningful, more constructive, more edifying in nature. And I could really relate to that. Another of the core pillars of the video seemed to be about the trap of falling into like novelty and spectacle, and that you end up doing a lot of just like when you're just kind of following what the other creators are doing because it works. Everything kind of gets done and played out, and it gets hard to do anything new, especially since the algorithm doesn't seem to really reward you for that. So far, so good?
Essentially, yeah.
Right. Which leads to algorithmic siloing and creative stagnation, which was, for me, the point that just was like, yes, the way the algorithms tend to pigeonhole us seems to construct creative freedom and really kind of take the fun out of the whole thing. Right.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And then last but not least, you touch on this idea that, and this is kind of specific to the space, that stop conflating this idea of being a professional with being a quotes real musician. Just because you make a professional living off of it doesn't make you a quote unquote real musician. So pretty good synopsis of the video.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tackle each one of those a little bit.
Dun, dun, dun.
So starting with this dopamine merchant. Right. Let's talk about that a little bit, please, in your own words.
The vast majority of content that's out there is meant to get people to come back for more content. You're not actually supposed to walk away with something that you can take and like use to live a productive offline life. That's partly the incentive of the creator themselves wanting to have people watch more of their stuff. And that's also incentivized by the platforms themselves because they need more session time from everyone.
Right.
So that's kind of part one.
Yep.
Part two, because of that, it seems as though many people, and maybe this is becoming less of a thing, but many people have prioritized attention as an economy over substance of giving people meaningful experiences.
Because the algorithm rewards attention.
I would even say prior to that, because they're attention-seeking whores.
Because dopamine.
Yeah, and that's where the dopamine comes in. So
It's like, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like if you're not an attention-seeking whore, you tend to kind of become one because it seems to be what the algorithm wants.
That can also happen too.
And I totally agree with this. Yeah.
It's super
Well,
addictive.
and you're putting this effort in, you want to grow. You're like, you know what? Forget what I wanted to do. Let me just do what the algorithm rewards. And now all of a sudden you are said attention-seeking whore.
I mean, that's not a perfect one-to-one, but very similar to how I transitioned from doing those like commentary and making music videos to mostly reaction content. You know,
Because of that.
you found something that worked, and then you lean into it, and then you lean into it enough to where you almost partially forget why you did it in the first place. I had multiple moments of crisis throughout that time for many different reasons, but not least of which was like, man, I feel like I'm way more of a YouTuber and way less of a musician than I used to be, and I don't like that. And like, I didn't get into YouTube to be a YouTuber, you know? So
sometimes I'm feeling like less of a marketer, more of a social media attention-seeking guru.
But why can't both things be true?
Well, we want them to be. Will the platforms let us?
ish.
Please, both of you.
I would say ish. Okay, so like a decent amount of the consulting I do these days is in the Catholic space.
Yep.
And one of my clients for a while really was super like, I feel kind of gross when you make these like really attention grabbing thumbnails. Can we make it less attention grabbing? It's just like, like I'll make something, he'll be like, that's really good, but what if we made it worse?
Right. Well, less sticky, less jumps off the page.
I mean, not on a beach,
less clickable. Yeah.
Less clickable.
Yeah, the word of God would spread so much better if less people saw it. Yeah.
Right.
So then that kind of brings up my whole point is like, okay, at a certain point, this is the paradigm you're thrown into. You can either choose to work with it or choose to deny reality.
Yeah.
You know? But then, okay, we've decided that we're going to play along. At what point do you start either losing your purpose or breaking your ethics? And that's the line you don't cross. And it takes a lifetime to figure out exactly where the line is. You're going to make mistakes.
I think we're always seeking that line because it's always the moving goalpost.
When you're in the game.
Yeah. When you're in the game, of course.
And at risk of being redundant.
So many years, it's always searching for the fucking purpose.
At risk of being redundant, it's a big part of why we really wanted to have you by, because as you can tell, I'm at least really struggling with this. Like, I got into this for one reason. The algorithm's kind of pushing me in another direction. I need to stop there and go, okay, wait a minute, what am I doing? Where's my line?
And this for me is from more of a religious perspective, partially too. But this is now the circumstance in which I find myself, and God has given me these gifts of having all these YouTube skills, which in some ways are better than my music skills. And how do I use that to further His kingdom? Would I bury those talents just because I believe I'm supposed to be a musician? Like, I don't think that would be good for my faith journey myself. That I don't know where you guys come from with that, so like I won't put any words in your mouth or say anything like that. But at least that's where I come from.
Well, we don't yet have the following that says this is what you should be doing. But I see where you're coming from. You've gotten to this point. You've got this platform now. How can you leverage it in an effective way?
Leverage it for good.
Leverage it for good.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Once I get 200,000 subscribers, I'll let you know.
But even with just a few subscribers, everything we do should be for, at least for myself, it's for a philosophical good, right? That's for just the greater good of my fellow man, the agency I run. Tagline is branding for the greater good of humankind. And I fucking live that with everything that we do.
Amen.
And because it's true. I don't want to work with assholes. I don't want to work for Monsanto. I don't want to work for those who have nefarious intent behind them. So as a creator, like the stuff that we're doing, I think what we're seeking out, John, it's interesting. And I've been on this journey for myself for 20 something years, is how do we just live a great creative life and live at the intersection of creativity and business? Melissa and I talk about it all the time with the Creative Hustler podcast that we ran. Shout out to the creative hustlers out there. That's a throwback. But at the intersection of creativity and business, that's a fucking point right there that we're all just dancing around trying to land on.
Well, it needs to make you happy, provide value, while simultaneously, let's be honest, you have to work for the algorithm to some extent.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the paradigm we find ourselves in. Like I said, you can either choose to accept the situation as it is or pretend as though it doesn't exist and then fail.
Right. Well, part of the ikigai. We're talking about
ikigai. You familiar with this concept, Japanese ikigai?
No.
Oh, it's like when it's exactly what you just said. When you know what your purpose is, you can get paid for your vocation. The world needs that vocation. There's a couple other points on this map. And the Japanese say that when you can achieve that, you have achieved Zen. You live in harmony. You have that essence right there. And like to find your ikigai is, I think, what we're all seeking. And you very articulately put it out there right there.
Oh, sick.
Are you familiar with this notion that YouTube allegedly changed or updated their algorithm to be more in alignment with what perhaps you were kind of picking at in that video, with something called satisfaction weighted discovery? Have you heard about this?
No. What explain?
All right. So apparently there's been a shift over the last 12 months. When was that video put out, by the way?
This might be something I'm familiar with, but I'm not familiar with the term.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, this is basically like, instead of looking at just watch time. They're looking at a confluence of behavior to see how satisfied someone was, and that's why they give you surveys and everything. That thing.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll read it verbatim.
Yeah,
You got
please,
it.
Please.
YouTube overhauled its recommendation model to prioritize viewer satisfaction over raw watch time. This means content genuinely satisfies viewers, measured by surveys, sentiment analysis, positive comment ratios, and follow-up behavior is now. So the satisfies viewers is now promoted more aggressively, even if it doesn't hit traditional engagement metrics. That all sounds good, but are you seeing that? Have you seen anything really change?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
your video, by the way, came out 11 months ago.
Yeah. Over the years, things have absolutely changed. I mean, like, even in that video, I talk about content used to be way more creator focused and not topic focused or niche focused. So like I could make a video on good pop versus bad pop or good rap versus bad rap, and my audience would show up for it, and I actually would get served to a whole lot more people because they'd show up to it. Now if I make a video on the cognitive function of music with a pre-breakdown of theoretical psychological systems, my audience doesn't even know that it gets published. The amount of times I get a comment being like, bro, I haven't seen you publish in like 3 months, and it's been like 3 videos in the last month.
Sure.
It's just like,
because it's not being shown to them.
It's literally not being served to them. Yeah. It's like at that point, there's nothing you can do, Okay. There's nothing you can do.
So has YouTube made strides to serve more edifying content, or
no? Definitely not.
Okay.
There's a whole drama going down right now around this YouTube creator called The Quartering that's basically taken over X and taken over YouTube, and I've watched like a handful of videos on it, and now my feed is nothing but slop of people either clipping other people's live streams talking about it, or like these guys making 3 videos a day, updating everyone on 3 minutes worth of information stretched out over 20 minutes worth of time type of shit. I hate that. So like at least half of my feed is someone making fun of The Quartering or people associated with The Quartering.
Right.
I don't actually want to watch that content, and that I think that's one of the reasons why I hear a lot of complaints today about people saying their feeds aren't very good, is because it's not quite the algorithm is not quite sophisticated enough to actually understand what about the topic people like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Sometimes they still serve based upon creator. If you watch a shitload of that creator back to back to back, that they will pick up on that. But it takes a lot. It used to be way easier. The subscribe button used to actually do something.
And now
that doesn't do jack shit. Like almost no one looks through their subscribe feeds, and even if they do, they're rarely clicking on anything. And I'm guilty of this. I look through my subscribe feed multiple times a day. I almost click on nothing from there. But
is that a UX issue, you think, from YouTube? Like, are they missing out on something there?
No, not at all. They have a way better session and retention time and viewer satisfaction from their recommendation algorithm that they have.
From the recommendation.
All right, so the crux of it for me is this idea of this death spiral where and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but your videos seem to suggest that, the algorithm kind of punishes you for evolving, for trying something new. As a result, views tend to drop. You tend to get filtered out or just not shown. So you go back to what worked. Do you still feel that way? Is that
for specifically the metal and rock space? Absolutely, yes.
But not as much in other niches, because you work with brands as well.
Yeah, not as much. It's still a thing. Like if you're like one of my clients is a Catholic apologist. If he decided to start making train set unboxing videos, he's screwed.
Yeah.
Like when your channel is this format on this style of topic, you're pretty and you have an established following in that. You're in there. If you want to make your train unboxing videos, make a separate channel.
What's an established following? I know that's subjective, but are we talking?
I don't know exactly how to quantify it, to be honest with you.
Are we talking a few hundred subs, or at what point?
Way more than that.
Or is it based on category? Like there's there's 1,000 subs in the Christian Apologist. Is that worth the equivalent of 10,000 if you're a food reviewer?
No, I'd say like everyone pretty much has like a certain threshold to pass over. I would say probably when you're passing like 5,000 views a video regularly is probably the case. I've never sat down and fully quantified it.
Sure.
But you can tell when you publish a video, a string of videos that do really well on certain topics or certain formats, then you try and change it up and then like no one shows up. That's how you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So if the algorithm forces creators into a box, what's the escape route?
New channel. I haven't dove onto that sword myself yet. Right now I'm still trying to pivot my own channel. But
so you are trying to pivot your own channel. So
I
you're
am.
kind of going against the grain of what we just discussed to be the reality.
I'd be so much more successful if I took my own advice. But
Is it a big pivot?
Well, you got
Evolution or revolution?
I would say evolution. I have
no choice.
as far as my own situation and circumstance, I have multiple different problems. First is infrequency of uploads as of late. That's probably the biggest one, I would say.
Is it a bandwidth issue?
As far as like my production.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to make way more involved, way more substance heavy stuff.
Which I think is awesome,
better
by the
editing.
way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Cinematic, or you might say, or
Yeah, or
docu-style.
and also like headier and more like actually trying to push ideas forward as opposed to just being like, yep, that Metallica song sucked.
Totally.
That song was dog shit.
But
That's where the dopamine is.
But does the channel will the algorithm let you do it? What's your take?
Maybe eventually. I mean, even if it won't, I don't care, because like if I had to start completely from scratch, I'd be getting less views still at the moment. So I'm not super duper worried about it. It's not like my views are like absolutely in the shitter gone. They're just not remotely what they used to be. But what was I gonna
Are
say?
you doing anything to get your audience off of YouTube though? Like,
No.
Like email? I'm gonna go into it.
No. I mean that is a very wise. Again, if I took my own advice, it'd be way more successful. That's a very wise thing to do. I have plenty of friends who have email lists, but they're usually also selling something. Right now, I'm mostly trying to focus on the actual content pivot of it before I start trying to add in a revenue funnel.
Yeah.
Because like I need to know that there's actually an audience who wants this shit. And matter of fact, I do know there's an audience who wants this shit. I need YouTube to find that audience and bring them to my channel. That's what I need.
Right.
Like guaranteed, I know that audience is out there and exists.
Are you concerned that your past history, like what you published before, will prevent YouTube from effectively helping you find those people?
Not interminably. Like eventually, I think a shift will come, but
It might be painful though to get there.
very much
It already
so.
is painful, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm bleeding subscribers, and that's fine. Those are
What does painful mean? Like, is bleeding subscribers, a time length?
lower stats in general for one, but then also just like one of the worst feelings in the world as a creator is you putting months or in one case years into developing something, and then you start actually putting in the time to make something that's a publishable video, and you like know it's outstanding, and you've shown like the first drafts to some people, and they say it's also really good, and you throw it out there and then no one knows it's there. Especially when you're used to everyone knowing it's there.
Yeah.
I had a nightmare years. This is prior to all this, but I had a nightmare years ago where I was on like some like dingy ass fucking patio porch or something, and there was like a really shitty small town high school like football stand out in this area with like 100 people sitting on it, and I was given this microphone. I was supposed to talk to them, but the microphone wasn't working, and I'm like tapping it trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And I'm like, YouTube is not letting me speak to my audience. Like, that's what that is. It's the anxiety.
right.
It's the anxiety of having my audience ripped away from me. So like that's the painful part.
Yeah.
Is like you're making this thing to like share with the people who already loved what you did, and now they don't even know that you're publishing anything. It's such a gutting feeling. It's very humbling.
Have you thought about boosting the content at all?
In what way?
Paid promotion on YouTube? And what's your general take on that?
There's a few different points of view on that. I don't think anyone's actually gotten a solid answer.
I'd love to hear yours.
There's some people who believe if you start paying for your content as an ad, that gets put into a different algorithm, and you won't actually be attracting people who are going to stick around, and it actually could hurt your channel because they think it's a channel that hosts ads as opposed to hosting like content to be viewed.
Right.
Yeah. So
This doesn't make sense to me though.
I don't know. I don't 100% understand that side of things because I've never made content as ads before. I've considered it, but no, I wouldn't worry about taking that path myself. I don't know anyone who has paid for advertising to try and find an audience and grow their channel who's actually done it successfully.
Isn't that fascinating that YouTube's paid promotion of content, all the creators hate it, swear not to do it, and swear it screws up your algorithm? What is going on there? How could that be?
I don't know.
But I'll tell you, when we've dabbled with it, the viewers come from India
Right.
or Pakistan. What the fuck? And then it's like, okay,
maybe that's your secret niche, dude.
Pakistanis love us.
Yeah.
We're huge in India.
Yeah.
We're huge in India.
and it's not like Google and YouTube don't have all the data in the world. So I've referred to it in a past episode as a poison pill. They're selling you a poison pill for your channel. Why would they do that? But you don't really have to answer because nobody really knows or understands it. But the takeaway is...
Can I also add?
Yeah, please.
Probably most of the people at YouTube don't understand it either. There is a whole lot of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing at that company. Shitloads of it. So like, I even have a friend who worked for Google for a bit, and now he works for a reseller that deals with Google on a regular basis. And anytime he has to talk to YouTube, it's like sending an email into the void. Like, he's one guy who should have like instant access, right? It's impossible to deal with YouTube.
But bottom line,
Yeah.
you're in the process of trying to pivot the channel, turn the ship, and you're trying to reach a new audience, the right audience that really appreciate this new type of content. You're not going to do any paid promotion because you wouldn't want it to screw up.
Yeah, I think the potential risk wouldn't be worth the odds of the reward.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Are you going to look at any other channel, like any other networks to find this audience? I'm sure there might be a Facebook group. I'm sure there's probably subreddits. And
Maybe
if it's out there.
I'm kind of I fall with Finn on this one, where content is king. Like, YouTube isn't perfect, but if you put enough bangers out there back to back, and you actually are making something that people do legitimately care about, YouTube will eventually find that audience for you and for that video. And if it's that good and they really resonate with you as opposed to the thing that you're talking about, they'll go and look through your past content, you know, like that's where part of the reason why it might take longer too is because I need to build up a better back catalog of this new style of video. I recently went through and unlisted a shitload of my old videos just because if I find new people through my new videos, which has been happening, and they come in and they're like, I really love this. This is like so cool. Let's look at some of his other stuff. It's like, wow, this is completely different. I don't like his language, you know?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
So that's one reason why it doesn't currently look like a clean pivot, because it's only been a handful of videos that have changed that much.
Yeah, so one thing you need to do is publish more often, it sounds like.
Yeah, which, I mean...
It's brought us full circle in the conversation.
Yeah. And that's also why I just admitted, like, it's a back burner situation at the moment. I got other priorities I'm working on. A lot of them revenue and wife and children related. I don't have a wife or children, which is why I need the revenue. But
because once the wife and children happen, the creator life looks a lot different.
I imagine it probably will.
Yeah, we was having that conversation.
For sure. As it relates to not publishing as much as you once were, I would say, for what it's worth, there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really easy to fall into this trap. Like, geez, man, dare I say, like, you owe it to constantly be publishing for your viewers, and to some extent you want to keep them happy, you want to give them what they signed up for.
Absolutely.
You want to do right by them, but you really don't owe anybody. You really, unless they're paying for your
unless you're
Patreon.
under a brand partnership deal.
You're under a brand partnership.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain circumstances, but for the most part, no, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to live your life.
And
bottom line,
I would say the vast majority of people completely understand that, you know. Like what I'm saying here, I don't think is going to be that novel of information for anyone who's been watching me, you know?
Sure. You know, one thing I think I'd be remiss not to cover with you while you're here and the time we have left is just how things change for brands trying to do the YouTube thing. And I talked to Finn McKenty about this a lot.
You mean like corporate
B2B?
kind of?
Yeah, B2B.
Gotcha. Oh,
you
geez,
know?
okay.
Right, exactly. I talked to Finn about this quite a bit, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I interviewed him, and more or less he said, like, YouTube is an entertainment first platform.
100%.
And, you know, generally speaking, unless you go very broad and you just make it about comedic appeal or something that's extremely broad appeal, like, it's really not going to work for brands, or at least most brands. What's your take?
Again, depends upon which niche you're in, but I would, and for the most part, I would fully agree with him. It seems as though most of those types of models that want to leverage social media are usually better served on things like Instagram or Facebook, maybe TikTok, but I feel like TikTok might be a little bit too young for a demographic for most of that. Mm-hmm. But I've known people who've tried the B2B route, and usually you don't garner that large of a following. However, the people there, I think there's like 2 people, I don't remember who they were offhand, but I think I've met like 2 people who have made it work to where they have like 10,000 followers and maybe they have 1,000 views on each video, but they're also getting like shitloads of revenue because they just found the right tiny niche who has buckets of money.
Quantity over quality. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that appeals to you, Steven.
Absolutely. I mean, especially in the B2B space, you don't need. I'd actually want to
please
define what making it is on YouTube for B2B. Like, if you have 100 subscribers, yet 1 out of 100 is buying a $10,000 product from you, that's fucking making it.
I mean, chances are, if there's a guy who's doing B2B who has 10 million subscribers, he's probably a marketing guru, but he probably is not remotely close to the top of his field, because if he was, he wouldn't be still doing YouTube. He'd be investing that time into making more money.
That's
B2B.
right.
Well, if you got a million
unless you
subs.
play the guru game on teaching other people how to be you and yada yada yada.
So here's the thing.
Alex
I think
Hormozy.
philosophically, we're all
Alex
aligned.
Hormozy.
Sorry.
Oh shit! Sorry, I stepped on it.
There, you're good. You're good.
I'm gonna repeat it so we can dig
Please,
into
yeah,
that.
please. Oh no. Just go ahead.
We're gonna mute
Ty
our
Lopez.
vocals
What
and
are
boost
those
your. So we're all philosophically aligned on this. In fact, it's not rocket science, right? It's quality of the viewer. It's not quantity. But here's the trap: is you put out that B2B content, it gets 50 views.
Yeah.
And you go, what the fuck am I doing?
CEOs like, what is this?
What is this?
What am I investing in?
You know, so it's kind of like I don't know. Is it maybe it's just not the right channel?
YouTube, I would say, is mostly best for advertising to the common person who isn't a business owner, and that's also
It's not a brand.
Not a brand. Sorry, yeah, but
right.
But, like,
that's the difference, though, right?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry to interject.
No, you're
but,
good.
You sparked something Steven and I have been talking a lot about.
Sure, please, yeah.
I have a theory that when there's an actual brand behind it, people are more likely to go, next, no thanks.
Oh.
Whereas if, let's say, I don't know. We'll just use us, for example. Instead of NJ Content Studio, we start publishing content under John, the friendly guy from New Jersey. And it was almost more or less the same content. John, the friendly guy from New Jersey's content is almost certainly going to outperform NJ Content Studios because there's no brand attached to it.
There's a human being.
There's a human being.
I would actually say no.
Please.
And I think one of the best examples I've seen is Papa John's. They have this dude who, at least on the videos, says that he's just a lowly pizza maker. Although I don't think he's just a lowly pizza maker. But he makes these incredible he makes these incredible shorts of him acting absolutely wildly, and I want to watch it every time because I love watching pizza, and this dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's just making Papa John's pizzas. Sometimes they're really weird, sometimes they're pretty normal, but he's just like staring at the camera, yelling at you as he adds those 2 scoops of sauce.
Right.
He does the barrel every single
He's
time.
an attention whore.
Oh, he's great. He's so
He's
good.
built for it. He's built for it.
And you know what? It makes me want to get fucking Papa John's.
Did they publish it under Papa John's channel?
It's called dough, as in like pizza dough,
D-O-U-G-H.
Joe.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
But no, I think that's exactly right. Papa John he was doing that first. Papa John saw him and said, we need to align with him. That's exactly to John's point.
That's what I'm saying. Papa
The
John's
individual's
published that
always gonna do
content
better.
under their page. It's not gonna do as well as Joe Schmo the dough guy.
Joe Schmo the dough guy. I like that.
We had PJ in here last time. PJ is a food creator that is the face of a law firm now.
I think he actually is on the Papa John's page for the record. But I think there's like 4 different channels that publish the shit. Sorry, I'm still listening.
No. The law firm.
Yeah.
No, PJ.
A law firm. One of our last guests. One of the ways he built his following is he aligned with a law firm of all things, and the law firm was like, "You have a big following doing food reviews. Can you come do food reviews under our brand?" Which is very strange. But
For a law firm.
It kind of
But it works because he's not the only law firm doing it around here.
The food reviewer PJ brought in Mike, a gentleman from the law firm, to do the food reviews with him, and it kind of worked. But notice how they did it under Traveling Taste Buds, not under Grungo Law.
And they probably collabed it.
To Finn's point, they didn't talk about law; they talked about pizza.
Okay,
right.
this sounds more like branded content, like a branded sponsorship than it does an actual okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
But okay, so one example of people who are doing it horribly wrong but still having some success, McDonald's. It looks exactly like someone who got a degree in social media and is doing the thing that's like a simulacrum of content, but that's not actually things that people want to watch. Like at the end of the day, people need to want to watch the thing. Like Susie, the lady who pours soft serve in the test kitchen.
Right.
She is sweet.
Right.
And I'm happy she exists, and I'm happy she's smiling. I don't want to watch this. I got no idea who the hell this is. She's not doing anything interesting.
I agree. That kind of goes back to the thesis of should brands be on YouTube at all?
Yes, absolutely yes. McDonald's, hire me.
What should they be doing?
Yeah.
They should, like Papa John's, first of all, pick one person who is the face of your company. That is, this goes for anything, and there are exceptions like you two where it's there's 2 guys involved, but it's way easier to focus on one guy and get to know that person than it is to have a cast of people. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at the music industry. The Elvis and Michael Jackson kind of created the idol model. And then suddenly through the 90s, less and less bands and more Jessica Simpsons, Britney Spears, went from NSYNC to Justin Timberlake, went from 98 Degrees to Nick Lachey type of shit. It's way easier to focus on one person as a brand and face than it is a collection of people. I don't know exactly why that is, but it seems to be the thing that works. So make one guy the face, make them relatable in some way or entertaining in some way, and have there be commonalities from each piece of content that carry over. That's how you make memes. That's why the Papa John guy, when he's cutting his pizza, goes meow meow. He looks and sounds like a retard, but fucking everyone loves it. It's great, and you can expect it. You like want him to do it every time. Like, okay, you're gonna cut this pizza.
Right,
You better go meow.
That
You know,
common thread, that consistent line through it.
it matters, dude.
That was all good.
Well, yeah, I love that. And I will say, I think that sounds somewhat in alignment with what I was saying earlier,
Yeah, it
which
does.
is that like it maybe the key for brands is to not try to present as the brand, but to present as an individual, because you can connect and bond with that individual and their personality.
Yeah, and like be completely transparent. Like this, like I am working for this company, but yeah, I mean, like do it as a person who obviously likes making content and is enjoying making the content they make. This kid is obsessed with making pizza. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
that's excellent advice.
yeah.
All right, well, man, time flies. Any other questions before we jump into the bonus round?
Where can everyone find you on the internet if they don't know already?
Become the Night with a K on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on socials, I'm also on Instagram. Don't really use my Facebook anymore. I mostly rant about religion on my X account. So you can choose to follow that if you want.
Well, it's great content. I've been a fan of it for a long time. And I hope everybody goes and checks out Mike's page. In the meantime, we're gonna talk a little music here, and follow us on short form channels to see some of that. So thanks again, Mike. Appreciate it very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.